Can you tell which one of these is AI? If you guess both, you're right. And these videos right here are taking over the internet and changing ad campaigns for the better. In this video, I'm gonna run you through the exact blueprint that I made for you guys to show you how I run an AI UGC agency. And I actually help these businesses use these AI UGC into their ad campaigns for the many benefits that it has, which I'll go over right now, starting in chapter 1. First, we have to go back to the very beginning of how we're gonna do this. And we're gonna go ahead and look at how we're gonna find these clients that we're trying to attract. So what can we do? We can visit multiple different websites like LinkedIn, and I'll show you now, just quickly, how many views are being pulled on LinkedIn every single day in this kind of topic. George Stock, the founder of MakeUGC, actually has over 41,000 followers on LinkedIn and over 4 million views every single month. With simple posts like these, they gather so much attention for e-commerce brands and will easily get you some inbound leads into your business. You can also use platforms like Instagram, where you can also do the exact same thing as that, or even use the UGC videos to actually show what they do for the business itself. As you can tell, these posts on LinkedIn are kind of just posts with an image or some copywriting and so on. It doesn't actually display what the UGC is itself. And then for Instagram, you can then go ahead and actually do the UGC itself. Then also using like Facebook groups, all that kind of stuff, or WhatsApp groups as well, work really well. And then the same way that LinkedIn is very good, you can also use places like X, which I'm going to show you real quick over here. Again, pulling ridiculous amounts of views, even 663K in just 2 days' time. Now, what you want to do from all these views and inbound leads, you want to just start up conversations and talk to these people, provide them with free value, and see what they want in their business and how you can help them. Because this is all done through the connections that you make. So how do we actually reach out? You want to give that free value at first, like I just mentioned. You can send free samples of these videos to clients, or potential clients, should I say, and see how they actually perform. They can test it out themselves. And if they're really satisfied with the service, then they can just go ahead and do more with you. You show them delivery times, all that kind of stuff, give them the benefits, and just be straight up and honest. Like, if they don't want to work with you, that's cool too. Just make it extremely fast, automated if you can, and that way you won't struggle with, ridiculous amount of work. Always start with a short intro explaining kind of what you're into or what you found interesting about them. And then you talk about, I noticed your brand, so on. Quick little sample for the ads. This can literally take 2 minutes with MakeUGC. And then a quick little small CTA for if they want to call, so that you can actually close this client. Now, why does this work? Because it's not a cold pitch. Cold pitching doesn't actually really work because people who you cold pitch to first takes more time, and you don't know if they want your service. And frankly, even if they don't want it, you don't know if they're a suitable fit for your service either. So you want to help the brands identify potential. With this, prioritize brands already spending on ads, because these brands are already spending so much money. They want to find cost-effective alternatives that basically work better in their case. Now let's move on to chapter 2 of crafting a high-converting offer. Traditional UGC agencies are really bad because hiring creators is extremely slow, expensive, most of the time extremely inconsistent as well. With this being said, videos can cost up to $150 to $500 with the usage fees that come after also, and doing multiple revisions or multiple versions can cost even more. So if you're trying to really scale and target different markets, do all these kind of different tests here and there, it's very difficult to scale and grow the ad campaign to a bigger size. So here's your competitive edge. You can actually automate this all through content generation. You can have extremely quick delivery times, I'm talking in minutes instead of weeks, and have such a high volume. Literally within that 10-20 minutes that it takes, you can make hundreds of UGC videos. And that's the difference between traditional and the AI UGC. It also makes it a lot easier for these companies to test. Having so many different variations allows them to test different languages, hooks, and demographics. And therefore they can test over 20 ads in a single week instead of 2 months' time, which is something that a lot of companies are really looking for. How do we actually create the offer structure? Well, monthly package, recurring income, instead of per video pricing. This is predictable, it's good for you, it's good for the client, and if they're getting their values worth, then you know exactly what to charge. For 10 videos a month, you can charge anywhere from $500 to $700. Because keep in mind, the traditional way of doing this is extremely expensive. So already at this price point, you might think, well, that's way too overdone. It's not. It's actually a very normal price for this kind of thing. And considering that the quality is basically the same, it really shouldn't be too much. If you want to upsell them to a slightly bigger package, you can then do just a tiny bit more, so 1.2 to 5K per month. And then if you want to scale to a point where they want to get so many videos out of you that you don't really have a price point for it, you just do a flat fee of 2.5K per month. And depending on how many more they want or how many variations, you can obviously add in little bonuses here and there. So the positioning of this is basically saying that instead of paying $300 per video, you can get 10 to 30 variations of this and actually test it across multiple platforms, audiences, and so on. You can also make some add-ons that you can put into the full package, solidify the offer a bit more, and make sure that the clients are really satisfied with the overall service. And you pitch them less as in just UGC, but also doing more into the ad creative side, finding demographics that they want to target, and actually helping create the scripts, all that kind of stuff for them too, which makes it extremely hard to compare to normal freelancers. Now, chapter 3, we can look into actually how to create the UGC and deliver the service. First of all, it's important to always have as much information as you can from the client so that you know exactly what you're doing. You could look into the demographics that they have or all kinds of different bits of data depending on how much they have. Really make sure that the ads are really focused towards this audience group. Create a little brand name, product features, benefits, target audience, tone of voice, competitors, all that kind of stuff should be part of this data that you want to collect. Step 2 is actually to make the UGC, and you can do this via a program called MakeUGC AI, and this will fully automate that production like I mentioned before. All you need to do, upload the brand information, choose create a style, generate multiple videos and variations, and I'm going to show you literally right now in the actual software, and then make sure to always compare. AI UGC doesn't take 24 hours, doesn't cost a ridiculous amount of money, takes very short amounts of time compared to 24-hour turnovers. You can always compare this. You can go, right, okay, UGC does 24-hour turnovers versus human creators can take weeks and shipping costs as well. Then you can always edit in different bits, maybe captions, all that kind of stuff, and make sure that the video really looks like a professional ad that you would find on TikTok or different platforms. And then use these and turn them into templates on the MakeUGC dashboard. And you can actually do this in a very consistent brand. And as I mentioned before, just as little bonuses, you can add the captions, music, CTAs, all that kind of stuff in there as the overall package to your offer. Let's quickly head to MakeUGC and have a look at how this actually works. So here we are at the MakeUGC dashboard. You can actually do product in hand videos. You could make some B-roll out of your videos as well. You can easily find it on TikTok like this and then download it via a different software. But for now, we can just have a look at how the AI avatar works. As you can see, you can write a script in here. You can do text to speech. You can also do AI script writer. Tell us. Choose the style of video that you want to do, maybe a product explainer in this case, and then tell them about the new iPhone 17. From that, generate the script, and within a couple seconds, you've got a full script ready for you, trained by 10,000 plus winning ads. And then within a couple seconds, you've got a winning ad created by a AI script writer that's trained with over 10,000 winning ads. So this is really as good as it's gonna get. From that, you can go ahead, actually select a character like Mia, add the creator, and let's just say you can also do this in really bulk, essentially. So select as many as you like, up to 100, I believe. Preview the audio just in case you're not really satisfied with it. And once that's been generated, then you can just go ahead and click this and generate the video. Now let's have a look at how the video actually turned out. If we click here.
Today we're diving into the future with the iPhone 17. Prepare to be amazed. First up, the display. It's nearly bezel-less, offering an ocean.
And as you can see, it's basically a perfect UGC ad. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between an actual person if I'm sitting on the toilet scrolling on Reels. This is as good as it gets when it comes to the AI side of things. Now, if we head back over to the blueprint, we can have a look at how we're actually going to make a delivery system. Now, we upload the final assets to the Google Drive, Dropbox, or Notion, and with a clear folder structure by the campaign, by the date, and so on. So this could be a very simple template that you can build out for yourself. You can even ask ChatGPT to do this for you, and then include a short how to use these ads as a guide for the extra value to your clients. Now, let's close this off and do chapter 4, and we show you how to invoice the clients, give them good retention, and scale your agency. So, invoicing. I would use either Stripe or PayPal for this on the subscription basis, which is basically a recurring bill that you can do, and it works really, really well. So that would be my main recommendation. Setting this up under a private limited company would be as good as it gets. And then filling in all your information as well. So that shouldn't take too long. With this, you also, take away that fear of not getting the payments through. And it also takes less admin, constantly having to track and make sure that these payments actually come through constantly, or you're actually sending them an invoice. So it happens all automatically and you don't really have to do much else. And when it comes to client retention tips, we've got a couple here underneath. Probably sending weekly or bi-weekly performance checks with simple Loom videos is also a very good start to this. Showing them through the ads, how they actually perform, what's good about them, the CTAs, what they do for the business, maybe other examples that you've found online that have been doing really well in the same niche, and just really show them that you're putting in the effort and the value for this client and the e-commerce brand. Then suggest new ad angles every single month. You can give them a little upsell to copywriting or new concepts, and you can be more part of the process of the ad campaign as well. And then lastly, position yourself as a consultant. You want to make sure that they actually listen to you as a client and position you in a creative partner way as well. Not just someone who supplies these UGC videos as a video supplier, So lastly, let's scale this agency up. How can we do that? Systemize outreach with LinkedIn automation. Once you start getting enough impressions, enough views, you're not going to be able to catch up with all the DMs coming into your inbox constantly. So with that being said, send them a little automation, give them some free value. Maybe you guide them to a Notion page, or greet them how it's going. Whatever it is, you can systemize this extremely well. They find their free information, they're happy, you're happy because you have a warm inbound lead. And then you can push them straight to some sort of funnel where they can go ahead and schedule a call with you and then, actually become your client in the future. You can also hire a VA to do this as well. You can do the follow-ups and all sorts of different outreach as well. While you actually do the back end, you can get someone to do the front end of the business for you. And now this might seem like it's all kind of far away, but you'd be surprised how quickly something can scale if you do it right. And then also make sure to do as many different languages as you want, because keep in mind, MakeUGC, it's got over 30 different languages. So you can really target all the audiences that you would like. And if you live in, for example, Spain, that's not an issue, or Portugal, that's not an issue either, which gives you a huge edge in the market. And then finally, always market your agency as a data-driven and fast turnaround business, not just a cheap content machine. That's what keeps you premium, and that's what keeps your brand on point. And make sure when you build out this personal brand, where you're actually sending out these messages and free information, that it also stays on point with that premium look. And with that being said, we've basically run through everything in this blueprint right in front of us here. Now, if you want to take this into action and actually make these UGC videos for other people, I highly recommend MakeUGC. They're the leading software in this space, and there'll be a link in the description for that as well. With that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the inside.